Hey everybody, what's up? This is Tim Hart, branch manager of VanDyk Mortgage here in Fort Myers, Florida. Want to come to you today with a question, and that is, what does it take to become a licensed loan officer? And to do that and discuss it, we have from my mortgage trainer, Aaron Wilson. Aaron, how you doing, sir?
I'm doing great, Tim. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So I just went through one of your courses, and my company, VanDyk Mortgage, they always push y'all when we have to do continuing ed and everything else. And the mortgage business, a lot of people look to this as a career, right? As being a loan officer. But a lot of people will have questions of like, how do I get started, right? What is the next step to become a licensed loan officer? And so to give them your credentials, can you fill them in on you and your company and what y'all do before we get into the details of it?
Absolutely. Well, as Tim said, my name is Aaron Wilson, and I'm the CEO of a company called My Mortgage Trainer. And we're a nationwide company that specializes in teaching people how to enter what I would like to say, the very rewarding career of becoming a mortgage loan originator. I'm kind of known in the mortgage world as Uncle Aaron.
Uncle Aaron.
Because I'm going to treat you like family, that I like, that's an important piece, by the way.
Can I pause real quick on this? I got to tell you this. I meant to tell you this real quick. We just had our yearly conference. You're going to love this. This is a testimonial to you. Talk to Tom VanDyk, right? Owner of my company that I work for. And I'm telling him, hey, I had this conversation. We're doing these videos, whatever. And he's like, is that Uncle Aaron? And I go, yeah, it is. So like the president of our company knows you as Uncle Aaron. I thought that was awesome. I meant to tell you that. So good.
Yeah. And Tom's a great guy. I met Tom 20 plus years ago, and just a fantastic individual. So anybody who might be thinking about coming to work for VanDyk is certainly working with, some great people in this industry with some fantastic character. That's for sure.
Yeah.
So basically, the people that are going to be watching this video, they're here because, they're looking into this as a potential career, move for themselves, or maybe they're just looking to get some more information about becoming a mortgage loan originator or loan officer, which now we call MLO for short, mortgage loan originator. So I think, maybe the goal in this video is to provide, these people with what an originator is or what they do and how they develop business and how you become a mortgage loan originator, which is your question of me. And then probably the other thing, Tim, that I always get, you probably do too, is how much money can I make as a mortgage loan originator, right?
Yeah.
We all know, as well as I do, that depends on a couple of things, it boils down to, how much tenacity do you have? Do you have a desire to help others get what they want? Because really that's kind of, I think, the key in our business. And then I think another thing too is how good are you at building relationships? Maybe is something that we can dive into at some point in time. And then obviously some basic math skills. But do you want me to just get right into kind of what it takes to become a mortgage loan originator from?
I would love to do that. I love every topic you brought up. And so like, let's kind of walk them, or let you walk them through the process of, hey, I want to get into business. Don't even know where to start. And then, towards the end, let's kind of get into maybe a few tips. Cause I've been in the business since 2001. And so been doing it for a long time. So like the relationships, all this stuff you taught, the tenacity, I know it, right? Like that's definitely part of it. But if I'm brand new, like you got to tell me, man, baby steps, where do I start? And then then let's see if it makes sense for me to be able to jump into this business and that if I'll succeed or not, So you go ahead and how do they start, Uncle Aaron?
Well, let me give you the basics. Yeah, the basics first are, you're not a felon, are you? Because that's something that's got to be important, right? Because all of us, one of the things we have to do is pass a background check.
Right.
Okay? And so, first of all, if you've ever had a felony conviction, if it had anything related to like fraud, money laundering, embezzlement, breach of trust, basically anything related to money or fraud, you might as well go ahead and click this video off right now, because that's something that's going to definitely keep you out of our business. Other types of felonies, if you've had a past run-in of some sorts, those aren't necessarily a problem as long as they're older than 7 years. That's something that's really key as well.
But you mean 7 years from like had a DUI?
Right. If it was a felony on the record, it was over 7 years ago, then that's not going to be a problem for
Okay.
them trying to enter the business. Um, a second piece is going to be credit. Does your credit have to be perfect to be an MLO? Not necessarily. But since you're going to be dealing with other people, and talking about their credit, and then you're going to be giving them advice, the licensing authorities in all the states, as mandated under something called the SAFE Act, which you'll learn a little bit about as you come through the training course. They believe that you should have what is known as financial responsibility. So, and Tim, you can probably comment on this as well, on things that maybe have kept people out of this business of relating to credit. My understanding is, for the most part, a little bit of credit bumps here and there is not really a problem. What I have seen in the past is if you have unpaid tax liens, that tends to be an issue. Have you seen anything else in particular?
Well, not too many really. Where you really saw it was like 2010. Like so many foreclosures and short sales and bankruptcies and stuff happening. Kind of some of that got muddled in, but like delinquency on federal debt. Like I think those probably caused maybe some issues, but overall, I haven't run into it to be an issue yet. And with the credit scores, does that vary state to state, or is it just done on the national level?
So interestingly enough, there's actually only a couple states that even have a credit score requirement. And the minimum, for example, like North Carolina happens to be one of them, and the minimum credit score for that particular state is a 640. But none of the other states, have a credit score minimum requirement. So, but that's a good thing.
Yeah. Well, but if you're going through it on the national level, I mean, that's enough.
Well, and what's great about, what we get to do now compared to the way it was years ago when this first started out, is that when you license now, once you get through the course and once you pass the exam, you actually are able to be licensed in any single state for one core exam. So, that's changed, because it used to be where you would have to take a specific federal exam, and then you would have to go back in and take a specific state exam. So there were 2 trips back to the exam site to be able to do that. But they have changed that, which is fantastic, by the way. So when you go in and pass this exam for licensing, you've actually passed every single state test in the nation in one attempt. Now, so let me talk to you about how you do that. First of all, I guess the first step in actually, making this process come together is you've got to take a pre-licensing class in order to prepare yourself, for testing. And the class itself is a 20-hour class. It's all related, obviously, to the mortgage business, origination activities, things that we do on a regular basis. It deals with a lot of law. And then it also has to do with fraud, ethics, which are important, of course, in our business. And then it deals with non-traditional mortgage product training, which, again, is something that would be learned in the class. Now, we run those classes, and we run those classes on a consistent basis. And there are actually 2 different ways that a student could take a class to obtain a license. And the first one I'm going to tell you about, this is the one I highly recommend.
And this is, if anyone's listening, like, please, like, tune into this, because this is one of the major steps you're going to have to take to get licensed. So listen to Uncle Aaron. So go ahead, bud.
Right on. So the first thing I would suggest is, and this is there's 2 different ways, and it really depends on your schedule. But if you were to ask me, where do the highest scores come from, highest passing percentages come from, that would be taking a 3-day webinar. And so we run a 3-day webinar every other week, and it goes Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday from 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time to 5:40 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And again, that runs every other week. And in my opinion, it's the best way to learn, because it's going to be in this type of format like we're doing right now.
Right.
Okay, so it is video-based training. It is live instruction, and you do have the opportunity while you're in that class to be able to ask questions of the instructor. And that would be either me or another instructor that I have, but we all teach the same class. We're all very good at it. And but that's what I would recommend, the 3-day webinar. Now, some people though, they just can't commit. Maybe they're working another job right now and they're thinking about getting into this industry, and it's just not really an option for them to take 3 days off and take this webinar. So if you can't commit to a live webinar, there is another option for you. This class runs every week, and it runs Tuesday to Tuesday. It's a 7-day window, and it is an online option where you're free to log in, log out as your schedule allows, as long as you put in. Yeah. And, you got to put in about 2.5, 3 hours a day to make that happen. But, if you're working another job, then you could come home at night and put that time in, or you could, obviously do a little catch up on the weekends. But that is certainly another option for you if your schedule just doesn't allow you to take the 3-day webinar.
I'd like to jump in and kind of give my opinion on that real quick. So like I've been doing it for a long time. So like I kind of knew like the laws and stuff, I can probably say this maybe, but like you kind of tend to forget which act goes with which, you do it for so long, because a lot of stuff, there's some great mortgage things in there, right, to get these people prepped up for it. But a lot of the different laws and who they tie to and who's overseeing it or whatever, you really do tend to forget that. But listening to you describe the 3-day thing, if I was brand new in this business, I would take that 3-day thing in a heartbeat. I went through it, the 7-day, and it was still great. Don't get me wrong. Direct, I could do my own time. I was able to do it late at night sometimes and different things like that. But I would dedicate those 3 days to having you as the instructor, walking you through, being able to ask you questions. That's the one I would recommend doing, because if I was new, if I was new and did the 7-day thing, I could see where I would not be as prepared if I didn't take you up on the 3-day, having the physical teacher, like you right there for me. So that's one, going through the one I just went through. If I was new, I would go for the 3-day.
Absolutely. And then, so the last step is, once you've taken this class, obviously you're going to need to prepare yourself to pass an exam. It's a licensing exam. Again, it's a national exam. So when you pass it, you've passed every single state. The exam itself has 115 questions. You got to get a 75% passing grade or higher. And, I will tell you, the national first time test taker pass rating is not very good. And I'll tell you why.
Okay.
So the problem is that the way the SAFE Act mandates the 20-hour course, as compared to the way the nationwide mortgage licensing system, which is the sponsor, the NMLS of the actual exam, wrote the exam, I believe that my experience from going through the test outline compared to the outline of the course content, I would say there's probably about 10% of the actual test content that is not in the actual course. Now that already puts you at a disadvantage going into that. And so a lot of the other schools that are out there, unfortunately, they don't take the time to teach their students how to go through and break down the test outline. And so one of the things that I believe that, what we're known for really is that, we're going to go out of our way for our students. I'll give you a couple examples here. Number one is we have something called Test Prep Plus. Now it's an add-on to signing up for the course. But what's great about Test Prep Plus is, let's say you did come through the 3-day webinar, and this is your first experience to the mortgage industry, and you're taking a 20-hour class that goes from here's what a mortgage is all the way down to every single law and everything surrounding it, things that took you and I, Tim, years to learn. These people are now trying to learn in 20 hours. So in effect, what it feels like is kind of drinking from a fire hose, right? So what we do with Test Prep Plus is we give you the opportunity to go through the course as many times as you want. I have students that have sat through that webinar, I'm not kidding you, Tim, 5 times before they've tested. I think that's a little ridiculous, but they just feel like they want to hear it again and want to hear it again. And then, so besides that piece of it, we also have test prep material that comes with your course, but with Test Prep Plus, we also designed 3 additional exams that mirror the actual outline to kind of test your, your knowledge of these particular points and give you something that's really close to what you're probably going to see. And then lastly, I've created videos and additional training tools that I actually give to all of my students, as well as a condensed study guide. So rather than this 300-page book you just went through in training, I condense it down to about 75 pages, something that's a little bit more palatable for people to get through. It's based on what's posted on the test outline. And then I have created videos to show them how to go in and get the outline, create an additional study guide, and break that thing down so that we can ensure that they have success. So
Awesome. What an awesome resource for new LOs. And, we're going to be sure, Aaron, all these links and stuff you're talking about, they'll be in the show notes. So you'll see them, in the comments or the body of the description. So, y'all can just click on it and know that, my mortgage trainer, this company, and Aaron, like, they do an amazing job. My company, VanDyk Mortgage, where I'm a branch manager at, would never, ever recommend them to us every single time if they didn't do a good job. So what amazing information and great resource. Did you have any other like certain add-ons that people need to be looking for that may help them? Because listen, let's be honest. So like, if you're listening to this, you made it this far. One thing, as a branch manager, we are always looking for talented loan officers. And I've seen them all. I've seen the smartest people ever come in that can pass any test known to man, and they kind of flop on their face. They may, right? Like they may succeed, they may not. I see people that like take it 2, 3, 4 times, pass by the skin of their teeth, but they're over there killing it, like or they may fail too, like this test, passing it like does not automatically mean you're going to succeed, right? Like in this business. And so I'd be curious, but passing it is vital. Because Aaron, if you don't pass it the first time, it's 30 days, correct?
It is. There's a 30-day waiting period in between each failed attempt. And obviously we've got the same goal as anybody watching this video, and that is to get you through the first time.
Yep.
Right? And, but sometimes it doesn't happen. And when it doesn't happen, we always ask our students to send us a copy of the report. Let's take a look at, where you were a little bit, deficient, if you will, in a particular topic, and let's see if we can't, sort those things out, because we want to get them through.
Now, I did want to ask you one thing with the test, like in Florida where I'm at, it's in person, right? You got to go to a testing center. Is it the same way across the whole country?
So they have a new setup, and I've heard some mixed reviews about it. With the pandemic, there was a period of time where the testing centers were shut down like everything else. And so what the NMLS did is they decided, well, maybe we should create an ability for someone to actually take the test over webcam. And so you can actually take the test over webcam, but I hear that it is, it is, the process is cumbersome.
Yeah.
You've got to be able to have a camera. You got to shoot it all around your room, your walls, your person, so most people go to the testing centers though to take the exam.
I looked into that. I didn't know if it was like a national thing where it's like, hey, you have in person and then you can do it online. So like I immediately looked at the online one just to see what it was about. And boy, like the stuff you got to go through to prove that you should be able to take it online was pretty intense. So like I was like, I'm going in person. Like it was a lot of stuff.
It was. It is.
Prepare to go in person. And I only say that because I talk to a lot of LOs, and there are LOs that just, if they do something online, they don't listen, they Google answers. Right. So like, I don't want anyone thinking to go through your course or anything and be able to Google answers at the end online. You're going to be in person, no phone, nothing. Like it's going to be you in that test. So you got to go in there and prepared.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And, I think, probably some people on here watching this might want to know, well, what's the cost to get licensed, And so, and to be honest with you guys, I mean, the whole process is super cheap. I mean, really cheap. I mean, when you think about the amount of money that you can make in this industry, and I'll let Tim kind of expand on that in a second, but you think about the amount of money that you can make in this industry. it's crazy. And you know what's even crazier is you're not racking up a ton of a debt, because you went to, you've got your degree in college, or you've racked up all this debt. I mean, I know some people have over $100,000 in student loan debt, and and look, I can tell you this. Look, my route was different. I served in the U.S. Army. I went straight in at 17 years old. My birthday was in basic training. I went straight in the military, and so I had a little bit different path than most people. And so I don't have a college degree, right? But I can tell you this right now, as sure as I'm sitting here, I have out-earned all of my college-bound friends, and I've accumulated exactly zero debt in doing it. I mean, I got a buddy, Rob, who's 52 years old, and he's still paying student loans. I mean, that's crazy. So, but the cost to get in to take the exam, or the whole process, the course itself, the 3-day webinar is about $349, and that includes $30 going to the NMLS. They've got a fee that they charge to record your education on their system. The online version, I believe, is $297. So there's a little bit of a difference in the live versus the online. That's just because you're getting me or somebody else as a live instructor. And so, so about $350, we'll call it that. And then if you do the add-on for Test Prep Plus, it is $179. But if you're the kind of person that wants to see something multiple times, that's worth it. You're not spending $350 each time. You can take it as many times as you want. And then I believe for the test, if I'm not mistaken, I don't think this is increased, but I think it's $110 to actually go to schedule to take the exam. And then Tim, I'll let you kind of maybe comment on from there, the licensing process, or if there's any cost if they were to, for example, join a great company like VanDyk. But so, you think of it this way, and some of you guys that are watching this video probably be able to easily relate to this. I mean, you can go to college for 4 or 5 years, rack up $60,000 to $120,000 in debt, and come out making less money than a mortgage loan originator. And so some of you are probably saying, too late, already did that, So anyway, I mean, or you can spend, $350, take a 20-hour course, be licensed in about 30 days. I mean, I don't know. In my mind, there's no question which one's the winning plan,
Well, and Aaron, to add to that, and first off, I told you this last time we talked, shout out to you. Thank you for your service.
Thank you.
The military. Appreciate you so much. And you got an amazing story. So thank you for that. Appreciate you.
Absolutely. Honored.
Yeah, man, you're a good dude. But like, I don't have that story that you have, but I do have the story of the high school kid, right? Like, man, I'm not a good student. I didn't, and I love school because I got to hang out with my buddies. I got to play sports. I won't even tell you my GPA. I'll tell you it was less than 3.0 right in high school. I have like a half a semester of college under my belt. Okay. It's and my wife, and we can talk about it, is the exact opposite. She went on to get her chiropractic, she was valedictorian of her high school class. Like, dude, one of the smartest people I know, and did the move of accumulating a lot of student loan debt, and so I see both sides of this. And I got so many of my friends that never went to college that are absolutely killing it, plumber, electrician, AC guy, carpet cleaner, like salespeople, realtors, whoever. And at VanDyk, like, I deal with all types of people that are loan officers, right? They come from all different backgrounds, and the education, it's important. Great. If you get it, good, go get it, whatever. But it is not required to succeed in this business at all. Like, and you hear me touch on that real quick? Like, what, the success of, because if these people are new watching this and they're looking at jumping into this, I see people that they come in, and you'll hear people say, well, you can make, well, how much do I want to, or how much can I make? And a lot of times we'll say, well, what do you want to make?
Right.
How much do you want to make? Is it 40 grand a year? Okay, here's the plan for it. I want to make 100, right? That's what you probably hear a lot, right? I want to make 6 figures.
Right.
Okay, here's the plan for it. I want to make 500. Here's the plan for it. I want to make $1 million. Here's a plan for it. Because people don't think you can do this. And I just came back from our yearly conference. I legit know probably 6 to 7 different loan officers or branch managers at our company that made 7 figures, and like a ton of them made between 100 and that 7-figure mark, right? Like and there's also people that make 40 or 50,000, right? Or there's people that come in and don't make anything, but like the majority of them, it's what do they want to make, and not only what they want to make, but what are they willing to do to make that money? There's a lot of different things that go into that. And if you're watching this and you want to learn more about that, I'm here for you. I'll put my contact information in there. You reach out to me. I'll go through different strategies or whatever to talk about it, because I really enjoy that part. But like, you can make whatever you want to make, but you got to be willing to put the work in to get there. So, that was fun, Aaron. I could talk about that. We go off for an hour about that. So I'm going to stop and dial it back into my mortgage trainer.
Yeah.
Don't mind.
Yeah, no worries. No worries. It's interesting though. I mean, I will kind of piggyback on that just for a second though. People, when they come through the class, sometimes I'll have people that just kind of do this on their own, right? Like sometimes they're referred to me by a client like VanDyk Mortgage. And then sometimes they do this on their own. They found us somehow, and they thought, I really want to give this a shot, and so they pay for the class themselves. They come through the course, they pay for the test themselves. They have no employer, right? And those are some of my favorite people, to be quite honest with you, because those are people that are, they're putting a little skin in the game, right? And they want to start a new career. And then some of the questions I get from those people, there's 2 really main questions that I get from those people, outside of the testing and how do I get through this test and all that fun stuff, is like, what kind of company should I be looking for?
Yeah.
Right. That's a question that I get a lot. And, I can tell you guys that are listening on here, there's a couple of things that I think that are really important when you're looking for a good company.
Oh, this is gonna be great information, man.
Yeah, because there's a lot of companies out there.
Right.
I mean, I train 25,000 mortgage loan originators a year. And we see, and those are most of those are licensed, but a lot of new people coming through as well. But those people that are looking for an employer, and this is one of the other things that we do too. If we have a student that comes to our class that does not have an employer lined up, we actually do free placement services. But I will not place any new person that comes through my company with just any random organization. So I like to do a little bit of background on the companies that I work with and find out whether or not they have a good training support program. Mm-hmm. Do they have maybe a lead support program? Do they offer some sort of maybe a starting wage or something to help somebody get going? Because not everybody can just come into this industry and work commission only, coming off of a salaried position.
Yep.
And so one of the things I can say right here is that this is kind of kudos to you guys over at VanDyk Mortgage. You guys are one of those organizations that I have zero problem with referring people to, because you guys have done this for a long time. You've got great ownership. You've got great leadership. You guys got fantastic tenure in your organization. And I know for a fact that you guys will train them, you will support them, and you will provide them with the tools that they need. Now, as far as like how much money they can make and how successful they're going to be, that comes back down to them again. What kind of desire do you have? What kind of fire do you have? Are you a kind of person that does what you say you're going to do? These are all things that are really important. Do you enjoy working with other people? Are you good at building relationships? These are all things that I think are necessities in our business. But I don't know, maybe that's a good segue to comment a little bit about what you guys do to support these people. Because in my opinion, just from experience of dealing with these brand new people, that's one of the big questions they have. And then the second one is, how do I generate business? But
yeah, I appreciate the stuff you said about VanDyk. That means a lot. And, there are a lot of great companies, out there, right? Like they're there. And I do consider us a top type company, especially in my market in Southwest Florida where I'm at. And, we're going to be licensed in other states as well. But by the way, if you are looking to get licensed in other states, you can still talk to me. It's fine. So what we look at though is like, how do we get like, how do we fast track this person to make what it is they want to make? And how do we lay out that plan for them? And so first off, a lot of loan officers, when they first come aboard, there's going to be some kind of upfront, some might consider a draw, or it's a salary or hourly wage or whatever, something to give them in transition from, hey, I just quit my job as a whatever PE teacher, for 15 years, and I made a salary for this. I saved a little money, but you and I both know it takes 30, 45 days before you close a loan and get paid on it. Not to mention finding that loan, right? Like, so, you got to have that gap of income, that we have to be able to fill in for them before they start getting paid on this work they're doing, originating these loans, finding them. So, we do offer that at my branch. We'll do a lot of we've got a very good online presence. So we'll be able to funnel people that find us online to the LOs. We'll be able to mentor them the whole time. They go through a 3-week training course as well, as a new mortgage loan officer. So I said mortgage loan officer, you know what I meant, as a loan officer. Yeah. Old school. As a loan officer, but we offer that course for them, and to help them learn the business, but not just learn the business, but learn how to get the business. Because you can get people that know the business inside and out, but if they can't close a door, or sell me free ice cream, something's wrong. So we want to be able to help them in the marketing, and we have CRMs and the databases and the flyers and the video and all these different things we can help them with to make sure they succeed. And again, it's earn the income they want to earn, not what I want them to earn, right? I want everyone to just kill it. But someone 60 grand a year, they're happy as a, pig and slop, right? They love it. Someone else may want more, and we're just here to help them get to that. And the other thing with our structure, I love the fact that we have, we mentioned Tom VanDyk a couple of times. He's a text or phone call away if I want it, right? Our CFO, our CEOs, our the underwriting managers, all these people are a chat, text, phone call away. So we have all that support lined up as well to be able to help them. And then my team structure too. I have 4 or 5 ops people in my office right now that are there to help the LO sell more deals, right? Not get bogged down in paperwork. So
that's awesome.
There we go. Yeah. So again, if they're interested in it, please reach out to me. I'd be happy to help, assist, talk to them about anything they want to talk about in the mortgage business. I'm here to offer those services.
That's awesome. And honestly, again, there are a lot of great companies out there, Tim, but there are not a lot of great companies out there that do what you just said, that you guys do for the new people. There's companies out there that I've trained for years that are fantastic companies, and they just won't take on a new person. Right. And then there are other companies that will take them on and can support them. And I think that's the big reason why, is because they haven't set up a good support system. Yeah. And, look, I don't know about you, but, I crawled before I walked, but maybe you came out of the womb just walking, but, you probably did, Tim, because you're kind of guy.
Stumbling.
Yeah. So, we all need that support system. And it can't be understated,
Yeah. I appreciate that. Is there anything else that you'd want, someone looking to get licensed to know before we give you your plug and tell everyone where they can find you?
I could make a bunch of shameless plugs here right now on all the other great things that we do for our people. But, I will say this, we are one of the only, education companies out there that, not only do we help them get their license, but we actually have a couple of programs in place to help them generate business. And so, because, I think it's important, from our standpoint. I don't want to be how do I even say this? Like a certificate mill, if you will, Yeah. I care about the people that I do business with, and I want to see them succeed. And I don't want it to just be talk, I was there. I'm in the military, and unfortunately, my military career got cut short due to injury. I used to rappel out of helicopters for a living. Anyway, when I got hurt, I actually had a kid on the way, and I had to hit the ground running. No excuses. I had to find a way to support my family. I had to find a career, and I didn't have the luxury of 4 or 5 years to go to school while I racked up a bunch of debt and brought in no income. So, because I don't know if you know this, but fact is, babies need things, lots of things. And love alone doesn't buy those things.
Yeah, right.
But
can't
so
pay the bills, but I love you.
Right. Yeah. Unfortunately, I was lucky enough to be introduced to someone who saw the fire in me, someone who noticed that I had the drive to succeed, and a real reason to make something happen like right now. And all I needed was a shot. Right. And I assume there's probably some people on here right now that need that same shot. And so all I know is that, with my help and with your help, we can get them there.
Amen. And love the opportunity to do that for anyone that's watching. And so, Aaron, would you mind giving it? And by the way, can I give a plug for your Cheddar Stacks? Are you okay with me plugging that real quick for you?
Yeah, I'd love to talk about Cheddar Stacks.
Yeah, well, let's spend a minute. If you're still listening, God bless you. Thank you. But Aaron's gonna have something else important that may help your business take off. So, Aaron, just tell me about Cheddar Stacks real quick, if you don't mind.
Yeah, so about 5 or 6 years ago, we started developing a system to try to help our brand new people, hit the ground running themselves. And so the big question that you get, besides, how do I pass this test and who should I go work for? The last question we always get is, how do I generate business as an MLO? And that's a pretty important question, I would think, that needs to be answered. And so what we did is we went out and we developed a platform called Cheddar Stacks. And I know it's kind of a silly name, what is Cheddar Stacks? Well, cheddar and stacks are both slang for money. And my thoughts are, who can't use more of that, right? So I'm just trying to get your attention. But Cheddar Stacks is a platform where we build business referral partner groups. And, as I mentioned earlier, one of the things about this business, and Tim, I know you can absolutely 100%, back me on this business is about building relationships.
It's all about relationships.
So, I mean, how good are you at building relationships, nurturing relationships, and then maintaining contact with people? Because that's one of the difficulties that we have in our business, since we sell a non-tangible, product. You can't see it, touch it, smell it, So the fact of the matter is, these relationships are so doggone important that we built a whole system to teach you how to build these relationships, who you should specifically be targeting, and then we connect them on a mobile platform to be able to send business back and forth to each other, track it, the progress of that lead, and then be able to record its information. But beyond that, we created a whole training platform with it as well, to teach people how to leverage each other's databases, how to generate more business through this platform. And so, and I can't get too deep into it, but I mean, the training in it is fantastic and it's all included. But we actually, Tim, I know this is going to sound crazy, we actually give that away for free to every single student that comes through our training class. All of it. Nothing. So it's called Cheddar Stacks. It's cheddarstacks.com. You can see a little intro videos on that if you want to from me. But the reality of it is, until you complete the class, until you pass this exam, and until we find you a sponsor, hopefully with VanDyk or Tim, then you really can't use the platform until we get to that place. But I appreciate the opportunity to say something about that.
Well, I'm glad you brought it up, because I'm a big believer in networking. And you say relationships, that's what our entire business is. It could be an online relationship, right? But like the majority of them are going to be offline relationships, or taken online to offline, or vice versa. And I'm a huge proponent of networking. I've been in the and this is very similar, if you don't mind me saying, like a BNI group, except way cheaper, right? Like these are network category specific groups where you're the only mortgage lender. There's one realtor, one insurance company, correct?
Correct. And the other thing is too, is that our platform is all based on technology. So you don't have to show up every Wednesday at 7 a.m. for stale donuts and stale leads. Everything is done over, online platforms like Zoom. The leads are sent through your mobile app and received specifically through a notification. So, here's the thing, like people always ask me, well, how much time is it going to take for me? Well, let me ask you a question. I mean, first of all, I'll answer the question, 4 or 5 hours a month, but you know what? That's 4 or 5 hours of time spent prospecting. If you're looking at this as time wasting, then you're looking at this completely wrong because it's prospecting. And that's what we all should be doing.
Yeah, I've been in one for over 10 years. Okay. I don't even remember exactly where I'm at right now with it. Every year I want to quit. Right. Like every year I'm like, because I got the one where it's every Thursday morning and I love the group I'm in and we're all good friends. We all refer business, but like, it's a commitment, right? Like every year I do it. And every year I'm like, God, do I want to re-sign up again? But you know what, Aaron, every time I look at that, I realize that when I do my numbers, 10 to 20%, depending on the year, come from that networking group,
Right.
and the relationships I've built with them. And it's the same thing they can do with you. And if it's not, oh, I don't have the time, you got the time. Like you have the time to make this type of commitment to grow your business, to build those relationships. Because the other part about what you'll see with Cheddar Stacks and any of these networking groups is not only do you get business from these people, right? If you're a loan officer, like, yeah, okay, I want to do refis for you. I want to help you buy a house, but like also I want to meet the realtor that like that's one of the big things we do in my group. But the part of it is also to your sphere of influence, you become the person that knows everybody. You're always that person that has that guy, right? Like you'll be that person that can help service your clients, friends, family, or whatever by referring them to your favorite plumber, like someone you trust. And so it's just, there's a lot of great things that happen within that networking group. And I highly suggest you take Aaron up on that with Cheddar Stacks. If you don't have any other options or you want to explore it, they go to My Mortgage Trainer or they go to cheddarstacks.com to check it out.
So for the training and education for becoming licensing, you would go to mymortgagetrainer.com. You can sign up for Cheddar Stacks at that site from My Mortgage Trainer site, or you can just go to cheddarstacks.com and sign up there. And it'll get you into the basic stuff and get you into the training platform. It wouldn't launch a group for you until we actually had 4 or 5 people that wanted to join with you. And we actually, believe it or not, we actually build groups for people too. So if you had let's say you got somebody that moved in, they're new in town or something, they're coming in to be an MLO and they're like, well, I don't really know anybody. Is there any way you can build a group for me? And we'll actually do that as well. So, at Cheddar Stacks, you talked about the early morning meeting on Thursday and you wanted to quit. We always say in Cheddar Stacks, the early bird may get the worm, but the second mouse gets the cheese, right? So,
hey man, I saw your shirt and you had me dying laughing. It said, "Grader's gonna grate," and I was in tears laughing at that because mortgage business, I use the word rate all the time. Have a rate day, have a rate weekend. Like it's just something funny to do. And the grader's gonna grate. I spent like a week trying to figure out how I was gonna work in Raiders gonna rate on a social media post, but I still haven't figured it out yet. One day.
You'll get it.
I'll get it. So, hey, Aaron, I appreciate everything you've done today. Thank you very much. Again, can you let people know the best way to contact you and to get more information about your tests or your courses?
Yeah. So if you want to reach out to me directly, you can at aaron@mymortgagetrainer.com. But you can go to our website. There's plenty of fantastic information in there. There's even a great little video in there as well that we did an interview with another young MLO that came through. But if any of you guys are interested in getting your license, we'd love to help you. If you need help with placement, if that's on your wish list, then obviously I would love to refer you over to Tim at VanDyk Mortgage, and we just want to help. Come on.
I appreciate it. You do a great job, and I can't, as a branch manager, since 2008, I can't recommend people enough to your course and you to get this done and follow what he says, because he'll help you pass this test. Because once you pass the test, Hey man, it's, you're off to the races, you're rolling. And so if you are looking to get into the mortgage business, I would definitely be a loser right now if I did not talk about the opportunity we have here, that we would love to be able to help you. Whether you come with us or not, I invite you to reach out to me, pick my brain about the mortgage business, ideas, you name it, right? Like, I'm here for you. We are licensed in a lot of states in the US. Okay. So we can help a lot of you out there. So call me anytime. I'm gonna give you my cell phone number. It's 239-910-5668. Emails thart@vandykemortgage.com. Find us on timhartjr.com. Tons of content out there on YouTube. If you want to get to know me more, it's out there for you. We put a lot of content out there. So again, here to serve, love to be able to help you. Mortgage questions, concerns, you let me know. Always happy to help. And Aaron, again, man, thank you very much. Appreciate you.
It was an honor. Thanks. I appreciate the opportunity and the invite.
Yeah, bud. All right. Take care, everybody. Hey, have a great day. See, I nailed it. Great day.